Hi there! Today is all about function declarations. So, what is a function declaration? Well, in JavaScript, a function declaration is a way to define a function. A function itself is a block of code that can be easily reused. Now, it's important to note that the function declaration does not call the function. And you can use the function keyword to create a function declaration. Also, function declarations are hoisted and accessible. So I could call the function above the declaration and it will run as expected. On to some code snippets. So I know that some of these snippets might be considered trivial to some, but I've had moments in interviews where I blank on really basic topics. So rewriting them on my own beforehand really helps me. And we can write function declarations by using the function keyword, followed by the name of the function, then parentheses, and inside of these parentheses, we can add any parameters that we want. Then we have curly braces to indicate the function body, followed by a return statement to return a value. Otherwise, the function will return undefined by default. And to call the function, we'll want to invoke the function, and we can do that on the line below, like so. Okay, on to some theoretical questions. So you might be asked why you would want to declare functions in JavaScript. You can say something like you want to declare a function so that your code is organized and you don't repeat yourself in instances where code can be reusable. You might also be asked about hoisting in relation to function declarations. You can say that the entire function declaration will be hoisted to the top of its scope, and it may not seem intuitive, but it is possible to declare a function below a function call and not receive an error. Another question you might be asked is to explain what parameters and arguments are. So within a function, parameters are the placeholders inside of the parentheses, and these act as variables within the function body. Arguments are the actual values that you pass when you call the function. Lastly, there are more advanced questions that will have their own videos, like what's the difference between a function declaration and arrow functions, what a closure is, how this behaves in function declaration, as well as declaring async functions, and we'll cover that at a later time. But for now, let's go back to some coding questions. So you might be asked what the output of this would be. And so we have a function call, and then below it, we have the function declaration. So originally you might think that there would be an error, but as we mentioned before, the function declaration is hoisted. So we will in fact be able to call this function, and we will log a value of 5. Now, another question you might run into is writing a function where you are asked to log all the arguments of the function. So this will log dogs are awesome. Here, what you can do is use the arguments keyword. That will give you an array-like object of all the arguments. Then we can spread it into an actual array. After that, we can loop through the args array using for each, and then we can log each value. So it's not a bad problem, but you do have to be familiar with the arguments keyword. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.